guys, why not here? And today, what we are going to do is something that I have been meaning to do for a while. Well, meaning to get into for a while. However, I never really got the courage to do until now. And that is annotating a book. I have been going back and forth on wanting to do this for a very, very long time. Maybe even a year at this point. And it's for several reasons. It's not because of the aesthetic of it, though that is part of the reason. However, as I started thinking about doing annotating, I realized that having the aesthetic just isn't what I really want. Because working for something that's just going to be an aesthetic and not anything that's going to actively be meaningful to me isn't something I really want to do, isn't something I want to put my time towards. So what I'm going to do is I want to start annotating my rereads. It took me a while to figure out like what book that I actually actively want to start annotating. Let me just clue you into my thought process with this. My vision is that, my logic, anyways, is that I personally, have a lot of books. There are a lot of people who have a lot of books. However, my thing is, if I don't enjoy a book, I want to be able to get rid of it pretty easily. And having annotations in those books that I didn't enjoy makes it very hard to, get rid of those books. And also, I'm not going to put my time towards something that I don't enjoy. And even if I stop, and even if I DNF a book, I'm not going to stop halfway annotating it because there's just no point in that. So I want my annotating to be something, I'm going to be annotating things that I've already enjoyed and actively want to be reading again, spending a lot of time with the text. And B, I want to be able to know that these books that I reread are going to stay with me for the duration of the rest of my life because I have annotated them, because they are well loved. That is my thought process, that is my logic. So the book that I've chosen for this is Snowflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa C. This book was a COVID read, and I actually have already started annotating it a little bit just because I wanted to get like a sort of a feel for like what it would be like to actively like write in the book and all of that. So if you don't know anything about this book, this book was a COVID read. There was no real rhyme or reason to why I picked it up. I just picked it up because I thought it would be fun, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. However, it's been about 3 or 4 years. It's been about 3 or 4 years since I've read this book. And I just have no real clue, to be honest. So we're gonna go back to it. We're going to read it. What I remember about this book is that it is so very female gaze. It is really from the perspective of women in it was pre-industrial era China. That is all I really know. 19th century China. So yeah, I'm really excited actually. Let me show you what I've annotated so far. I've taken some tips from some videos that I've seen, and a lot of them like to have like an index, kind of like a table of contents for all of the tabs that you're using. So my tabs go from insightful quotes to relationships between characters and the difficulty of the relationships between characters, because that's something that I've really observed within the first literally 3 pages of this book. And if you can see, here's a highlight. Honestly, it felt really interesting. And then I'm also doing a mix of highlighter and pen, if you can even see that. My thought process within this, there isn't really much of one, to be entirely honest, other than the fact that I want it to be color coordinated and I want it to be like aesthetically pleasing to match the book. However, the things that I am annotating are things that I think matter within the book and things that I really want to go back to whenever I flip through the copies. because this book does tackle a lot of things between relationships between women, relationships between women and their husbands, relationships between women and their children, as well as relationships between relationships between women and themselves. So this is something that I'm really excited to get into annotating, further into annotating. I plan to at least get through the first 2 chapters. Like, I'm already down 1 chapter, so 2 more chapters up to chapter 3. I want to annotate further into that. But however, I'm actually going to show you all of the things I got for my annotations. So first off, we have a tab set. I bought several tab sets actually. I bought a lot of tab sets. So this is just one, but this is the one I'm using for this book specifically. So let me put this down real quick, and I'm going to show you everything I got for it. First thing that's like the most substantial is a reading journal. This is specifically the A Clockwork Reading Journal by Hannah from over on A Clockwork Reader. I saw that she had these released, and I think that this would be a really good place for me to record all of my rereads, my experiences with them, and all of my favorite quotes, so that I don't have to go back through all of them and like have them all chronicled here. And it's really thick, and I think this is going to last me a really long while for it. So there's that. And also Hannah just also does a lot of the aesthetic within this is just it's honestly just really amazing to me, with all of the like aesthetic drawings and all of that. So that's just something that I really enjoyed from this as well. I got it off Amazon, if you're wondering. I looked for it at Barnes & Noble, couldn't find it. So next, let me show you everything that I got. Well, this isn't everything. This is everything that I was able to fit in here. This is a pencil case that I bought for school. But then since I got my iPad, since I'm not using notebooks anymore, this is where I'm going to keep all of my annotation tools. So yeah. So I'm going to just take out all of my tab sets that I have that I stuffed in here first, so I can show you that I am indeed a crazy person. So let's just talk about I had no idea how just like buying so many tabs was going to be so much fun. Like, it just like, anyways, so I have like these shorter things of tabs here that just kind of, I needed options. Like that's the only thing that really fueled my desire to get all of this nonsense, was that I needed options. So I have said options. I also have these little like slightly, these short ones that are meant to like highlight like small sections of text. I don't know when I'm going to use these. However, I do plan to eventually, because I have them now. So yeah, there's that. Here's a set of longer tabs, which is where the one that I'm using belongs to, you know, all of that. And then I have some other tabs that are kind of more muted. However, I just really like them. I like the greens and all of that. So there's that. Those are most of the tabs. And then I've decided that I'm going to put the highlighters that I'm highlighting with in like this little section here, so that I don't lose them and so I don't forget which ones I'm using, because that would be horrific. For like, you know, my aesthetic dreams. Then we have all of these other things. So I also have like these transparent sticky notes that I also got, because they came with one of the tab sets, and it also came with one of these like permanent marker things, so that I can like, you know, like write on those, because they don't accept anything other than permanent marker. However, I also have this micron fine liner thing that I think will also work for it. And then I have some gel pens just for like, you know, writing like the glossaries and things and all of that. This one's actually like more of like an orange salmon color thing as well. But I have a bunch of highlighters in here. These aren't my liners, they're like knockoffs, however they work just as well. And then I also have these, you know, the square ones that everyone seems to have. And then I bought some really cute some post-it notes, because I've heard that these are also a really good alternative to if you have like a lot of longer thoughts. You can just paste them into a book, and then it saves you space from like writing. It saves you space from like writing completely in the margins and all of that. It saves you like the trouble of like finding the space to write all of it in the margins, and you know, that mess of things and all of that. Let's move on to the second section, which is this back zipper. Here I have my colored pens that I use. I'm currently using this pink one for, you know, Snowflower and the Sycophant, and then these are also the transparent sticky notes that I was telling you about. And then I have some stuff for pencils that are in a separate case that I couldn't fit in here. So let me just show you guys that very quickly. So this is another tab set that I bought. These are like more patterns and things like that, just to make things interesting, break up like the monotony of it. I was really excited for these. Again, I have pencils in here. This is another thing. I also keep my bookmarks in here, which is fun. What else? There are these are other post-it notes that I came, because they came in like a pack of 8, and I decided I wanted like all of them. However, not all of them could fit, so I just like stuffed what didn't fit in here to be taken out as accordingly, you know? So there's that, and then here's another tab set. It's identical to another tab set that I have, because I accidentally bought 2, but I just like, you know, I just take it in stride. And then you already saw one of them. However, I got new bookmarks, because you can never have too many bookmarks. This is just one of them, but they come like this, and the top part just clips onto it, and it just has a little like charm at the end of it. So yeah, those are all the supplies that I got for my annotations and all of that. And for the purposes of this video, since we're having lots of fun with an old read, like a reread, I thought I needed something new to go along with it, to like break it up in between when I don't really have like a lot of time to be like going through and thoroughly annotating. So I picked Mortal Remains by Mary Ann Fraser to be my new read alongside this reread. I picked this book mainly because A, the text is so big, and B, I think I could get through it like very quickly, and it feels like a book that you could be reading in between another one. I made a New Year's resolution a while ago to only read one book at a time. However, for the purposes of rereads, I think rereads plus annotations, I think having something else to break it up a little bit more would be a good thing for me. So we're going to do that. I'm going to probably, you know, annotate the first other 2 more chapters within this book. And then we're also going to start Mortal Remains, because I am pretty excited about this book. This book is like about a girl where her family like runs a funeral parlor and all that, and she talks to dead bodies, because that's what else is she meant to do. And then a guy who was presumed dead comes back, and she reconnects with him. So I'm really excited, because this also has like a bit of like an undertone of romance to it, I believe. And I've been looking for books with more of a romance undertone. I feel as though I'm ready for it. I have an entire rant that I will maybe make a video on, but I don't really want to get into it here. However, we're going to start this video, and I'm going to be annotating that book, and I will bring you guys along for my experience, because annotating is something that's going to be extremely personal, and this is the first time I'm ever doing it really outside of an academic setting. And that's another reason why I want to annotate rereads, because in school I went to a very literature-based like high school. In school, we would read like a lot of Shakespeare, like old texts and all of that, and we were expected to annotate them. And annotating the first time around just feels very academic to me, and I don't really want that. So we're going to be annotating rereads along with a new read to go along with it. So let's get started, shall we? So, it is the next day from the last clips. So I fell asleep around 6 or so, and then I woke up around 4 a.m. Yeah, so, I'm here to update you on what I got done. So, I did get to my stopping point that I wanted to, and look at the tabs growing on the side of the book. Like, you can barely see it because the edges are deckled. However, there are many, many tabs just like in this first section of the book. And let me tell you something right now. This book is hitting so different for me upon a reread. And I think it's mainly because I think I understand this feeling more. Like, back when I read this, I was like 16 or 15. I can't really remember. However, what I do remember about this book is that it felt so gut-wrenching to me because of just like the expressions of like relationships as they develop over time, the difficulties of having relationships, and the relationships with different types of people, specifically like sibling relationships, relationships between females, like female friendships, and also a daughter's relationship with her mother. Those are things that are addressed very closely within this book, especially within the first section that I've read. And upon like spending more time with the text, upon analyzing it more through this annotation, I feel it more now. Like, let me read you something that particularly stuck with me. It's in one of the last sections of the book, and it's the one thing I highlighted on these 2 pages. However, it goes, "At no other time did I see Mama's mother love so clearly. A true lady lets no ugliness into her life." She repeated again and again, drilling the words into me. "Only through pain will you have beauty. Only through suffering will you find peace. I wrap, I bind, but you will have the reward." See, and that has no true meaning in context, because in the context of this book, it has a lot of meaning. However, even out of context, this is something that my mother used to say to me all of the time. Beauty is pain. Being beautiful is painful. And that's something my mother used to say to me all of the damn time. She still says it to me now, and I mimic it back to her like I'm a parrot or some shit. But like, seriously, the phrases, some of the phrasing within this book, the relationships between a mother and her daughter really shine through here. And thinking back to my own relationship with my own mother, and looking at this book more closely, it just feels like more jarring to me because now I understand it more. Now I feel as though upon a reread, I'm analyzing it more, and I feel very, very, and I just have a deeper connection with that specific relationship. I'm an only child. I don't have siblings. However, I have a lot of friends who have siblings, and I've seen those sibling relationships like play out, and they've been absolutely hilarious to me. However, in this one, it's more of like a competition kind of thing. instead of just like a playful I hate you. It's more of like an active competition where actual hate is involved, which is interesting. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this book. I'm already having more insightful thoughts than the first time I read this book, which is absolutely hilarious to me. And I'm honestly can't wait to finish this. It's really interesting. And I'm like, no joke, not even a joke, I'm not even 40 pages through this book. I'm on page 35. So we're going to have to see, but I'm really, really excited for this, for like the ending of this book, and the end of this annotation experience. It's really exciting, honestly. So now that I've gotten as far as that, I'm actually going to start Mortal Remains. I'm honestly fairly excited for this book, but also I kind of want to break up the historical fiction with some magical realism / fiction type thing. Again, I'm not entirely certain what this book is going to, talk about, or what this book is like actually going to go forward with. So we will have to see. However, I will update you once I'm a decent percentage of the way through. Okay? So it is currently 10 p.m. I just got home from work. However, my exhaustion does not constitute dampening my excitement for book mail. Do we see? So this is not the same box from my last book haul video. Definitely not. Specifically, this box is actually from the Broken Binding. Because I ordered, I forget how to open these. Oh, there it is. Yes. Because I ordered I ordered some special editions of, I pre-ordered them. I pre-ordered some special editions of Prior of the Orange Tree and A Day of Fallen Night. And I just like these editions better than the Illumicrates. So here they are. They're very well packaged. Like, geez. Okay. So let's just do that. Ooh. So they have bubble wrap, and then, oh, okay, I see. So they're bubble wrapped, and then they're also gift wrapped. Right, so the little sticker right there says the Dragon's Hoard. I should be able to open this just without some scissors, but we shall see. I kind of want to keep this ribbon. Like, I don't know what I'd do with it, but I want to keep it, kind of. Ooh, it is a long ribbon. Okay, so do that. I guess we're gonna open the top one, which is the one that says the Dragon's Hoard. Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh, no. I see this one. I see. Okay. Could this one, could I just pull it out and it's not letting me, damn it. Ah, I see. So the tape isn't like that bad. Ooh. So we have Priory of the Orange Tree. See, they didn't change the cover, but this is why I wanted it. Do we see the edges? Do we see just beautiful edges? Gorgeous. Yeah, and then here's the end paper. They're the same on the thing, but mostly the royal hardback. Do we see, can we just see the royal hardback there? And then on the spine, it has a quote, which I will read to you. The quote reads, "In darkness we are naked, our true selves. Night is when fear comes to us at its fullest, when we have no way to fight it. It will do everything it can to seep inside you. Sometimes it may succeed, but never think that you are night." The night or something. But like, yeah, and then the back of it, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful of the royal hardback. So yeah. And these aren't signed. Like that's just not, like that just wasn't part of the whole thing with the thing, but you know, I don't really care that they're not signed. They're beautiful. So pretty. So pretty. There's that. And then this will be A Day of Fallen Night. Okay. I just literally pulled that one from under the tape. Okay. And then, ooh, this one's even thicker. Oh, crap. But A Day of Fallen Night. Haha. I'm so happy with this. So these are the edges on A Day of Fallen Night. Do we see the dragon? So beautiful. So beautiful. Love these. And then this is the end paper on it, right? And then also the royal hardback. This one's blue and gold, as opposed to the orange and silver on that one. Do we see? And then another quote, back of it, beautiful. I will read to you the quote on the spine. "My line shall be a line of queens, my realm a queendom, mighty to behold. For she was my strength, the root of my heart, and her memory will live until the end of time itself. I tell you, our house shall be an endless river, a chain long as eternity." These are, so I don't think I need to tell you that both of these books are high fantasy. I don't think that needs to be explained at all. However, these books are from the Broken Binding and I believe are still available. I pre-ordered them in May, something like that, and they shipped recently. Oh, and I completely forgot. They come with ribbon bookmarks. Can I see? Can I grab? Thank you. They have ribbon bookmarks, so you can see. But either way, beautiful, beautiful editions of these books. So now I'm gonna go to bed because I'm tired. Oh God, it's been a long day. I had coffee, however, it has still been a very, very long day. Good night. So something really funny happened this morning, actually. I woke up thinking I had work at 10 today. No, I work at 2 and I arrived literally hours early. So I went to the Starbucks at the Barnes & Noble because their Starbucks is objectively better and they have better food. So I got scones and I'm gonna eat those, but I'm also going to do some more annotating. Personally, I'm not like in the mood for just thoughtless reading, like if that makes any sense. Like I actively want to continue annotating because it's actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be. So yeah, we're going to do that. Also, if you can hear that, my puppers are they're just there, I suppose. So I'm going to annotate. I have some YouTube pulled up. But yeah, dude, What are you doing? Hello. Oh, hello. Hello, baby. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Bye. So it's been a bit. I think this is maybe four days since I last updated you. However, I have a bit of an update for you on my annotation of Snowflower I'm a Secret Fan. I'm 83 pages into this book, and I still have another maybe 100 something to go. Let me be entirely honest. Let me be entirely fair for you. I have like a little annotation key thing going on here that I've been filling out, that I've been creating as I go. So the categories are, from top down, are insightful quotes, relationships between characters, the difficulties of relationships, commentary on growing up, traditions, subversion of tradition, commentary on the female world, funny as hell, and male/female relationships. There will probably be some more that I'm probably gonna miss. However, just to say, I've been using this tab set, and allow me to just say, for 2 of these, I'm literally like getting down to the wire of what I need. It's hilarious. So like in my little thing where I have all my annotation supplies, I literally have them all, have like queued up some other tab sets so that I can do, so that, you know, I can have like extras of those, because like seriously. So there are some pages where there's kind of like nothing going on. However, there are some pages where I wanted to highlight/underline the entire thing, and I refused to. So I just did like a little bracket thing. You can see I did it in the pink there. And this is a commentary on the difficulties of relationships. And then there are also pages that look like this. That it's just like, where it's just like there's kind of nothing else to do. However, there is a lot of commentary to be made, and a lot of things to be like underlined and, you know, taken note of, because look, this is a lot of like traditions and commentary on the female world, you know, all of that. What else? Relationships between characters, commentary on growing up, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'll probably do some more, I'll probably do some more tomorrow, because today I just got back from like a whole day of like adulting, and I didn't even do it half right, because I bought things, and my mom is like, we have those at home, take them back, and now I'm just like, damn it, because I kind of, A, don't want to take them back, and B, I'm mad because my mom was like, we have them at home, I could hook you up, and I'm like, you didn't tell me. So we're gonna go through all of my purchases. Hang on a second, because all my bags are on my bed. Yeah, that is a scrunchie. So we have lots of things. They're actually all pretty small bags. First stop I made was to Sephora. I was high-key upset because literally I bought 2 hair masks. One of these was $40. I don't remember which, but one of these little bitches was $40. I was so upset, swear to God. And then I also bought, you know, some nails, because that is just, that's me. This is my personality at this point. So there's that. Yeah, but I need to take these back, because that was loud. Swear, my mom, did you just fart? Motherfucker, did you just fart on my bed? Don't give me that look, you know what you did. Oh, anyways, so I need to take these back. I kind of don't want to, but like I think I'm going to, unless my mom decides that she wants one of them for herself or something. I don't know. I just thought I needed them personally. But like my mom was like, I can hook you up. And then she said, and then she was all over the place. I'm like, you just didn't fucking tell me? Is that just how this worked? And she was like, yeah, sure. Ugh. I love my mom, but like sometimes she just, Oi! Dude! Anyways, so I went to H&M and I went to H&M and I got this dress. It's just a really simple, just like cami dress in white with like flowers on it and stuff. I've been wanting to have one of these for a very long time. It's just like I just never really got around to picking one up, so now I have it. And I also bought some crew socks because they were really cute and they have like flowers on them. So yeah, there's that. And then I went to this place called Hot House Market, and I bought this dress. This was completely an impulse purchase. However, I just personally just couldn't leave it. Like, do we see how adorable it is? This is great. I love this dress so much. I do love this dress. It was something new that they had just gotten in, and like the girls in there were literally like, oh, it's so cute and all of that, and I was like, yeah, I'm buying it. So yeah, I got it. And then I went to the beauty supply, and this is another thing my mom was mad at me about. She was like, you should have told me you were going to the beauty supply. You could have gotten me a couple of things. And I'm like, Ma, I told you I was going to the beauty supply yesterday. And she was like, I don't recall. And I'm like, you should recall. So yeah, I got some hair extension things because this isn't my real hair. It looks like my real hair, but it's not. So I got two things. One of them is really different. This is like an afro, like faux afro thing or whatnot. It's like a drawstring ponytail. We will see how this goes. I'm excited though. And then I got this one. It's like silver-ish, but like I honestly kind of just like the ashy tone to it. And also this was the only color that they had. The other one was like pure fucking silver, and I was like, I do not believe so. So yeah, these are the only two that I liked, so I got them. Just felt like it, man. And yeah, so that's everything I got today. Now I have put all this away, and then I'm gonna probably watch some YouTube, maybe. No, I actually have an online gaming session with a couple friends in a little bit, so we're probably gonna do that as well. But that's what's happening, and then I will update you the next time I get a little bit further into annotating this book, because I've been making a lot of annotations because there's a lot of commentary on fucking everything, honestly. So on page 29, there's this quote that's more commentary on the female world that's very deeply rooted in misogyny, and you're not gonna like it. However, this was but phrases like this are littered throughout the book. For us, the pain didn't lessen. How could it? But we learned the most important lesson for all women, that we must obey for our own good. If you are a woman and you didn't feel that in your soul. And then on page 34, there's this other phrase. My small feet would be offered as proof to my prospective in-laws of my personal discipline and my ability to endure the pain of childbirth, as well as whatever misfortunes might lie ahead. My small feet would show the world my obedience to my natal family, particularly to my mother, which would also make a good impression on my future mother-in-law. The shoes I embroidered would symbolize to my future in-laws my abilities of embroidery and thus other house learning. See, that's commentary on the female world of like, you do this for other people to see, not for your own benefit. This dog, swear to God. Yeah, and then there are pages that just kind of have nothing on them because there was nothing I thought was really like important. So yeah, I'm honestly really happy with how this book is like moving personally. So yeah, I'm honestly just really happy with the turn this book is taking. It's a lot more, it's a lot more everything than I remember, really. Maybe it's because I'm paying more attention to the words, but I feel like a deeper connection with this. I said this in my last clip, but like, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun annotating this, honestly. Also, with regarding Mortal Remains, I decided I didn't want to read it. So now I'm kind of trying to figure out what I do actively want to read, because I realize I'm not really in the mood for like paranormal YA. Maybe that's because I've never read it, but like I'm just not really in the mood for it. So we will be figuring out what I want to read past this point. However, the annotation is going very well. It's actually a lot more fun than I was expecting. I'm having a lot more fun, and also it's so satisfying to look at, like, and also just watching the tabs just grow on the sides. It's so good. So good. I love it. I love it. Hi. So my hair is a little bit different, but I'm here to tell you that I'm home, and I've actually, well, I'm always home, but like, I've picked out something new to read in between reading Snowflower and the Secret Fan, which is We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. See, this will have a completely separate tone because this is a murder mystery book thing that heavily focuses on Shakespeare quotes, and I'm not mad about it, mainly because I went to a very literature-focused school. You've already known this. However, within this literature-focused school, we read a lot of Shakespeare. Like, I think the first thing we read freshman year was, what was it? It was Macbeth or The Scottish Play. So, yeah. So we're going to see how many of these references I actually get, while I read this. I think I'm also going to do some more annotating for Snowflower and the Secret Fan. We will see that. But I am kind of sick, which is why my voice is so weird. But we are going to start this book, and we are going to see how this goes for me. So if we were villains, I just finished Act 1. I love this more than I thought I would. And I think it's mainly because, like, I wasn't exactly a theater kid in high school. However, we did a lot of Shakespeare in high school. We did a lot of reading and analyzing of that. And Jesus H. Christ, there are so many references in here that I get. There's so many references in here that I understand, and I just love the quoting of Shakespeare at each other, mainly because me and my friends used to do that in high school in our literature classes. It's so funny. But also, like, some of the dialogue, if you've never seen like a physical screenplay or anything, the dialogue in here is sometimes structured as the dialogue in some screenplays. And it's so freaking funny because the way they denote actions versus like actual words is also very funny. Where is it? There's this one thing that I want to find again, because seriously, it is hilarious. There's this thing on page 50. It literally goes, so hold on, let me show you. So on page 50, this is what I mean. It goes, Richard, then explain it to the rest of us, won't you? Ren, Macbeth's a textbook tragic hero. Philippa, a tragic flaw, ambition. Me, sneeze. That's what I mean by this, and I love it, honestly. This made me crack up for literally no goddamn reason. It was great. But either way, I am loving this, and I swear I am going to really enjoy this, I think. So I will update you when I get a little further in, and also I'm thinking I'm gonna do my annotations for what is it? Snowflower and the Secret Fan a little bit later. So I will keep you updated. So this is about to be the final update for this vlog attempt thingy. So like, I don't really know what else to really call this, but this is just the close on my attempt at annotating a book. So I finally reached the 50% mark. According to Goodreads, I am 53% of the way through this book. And let's just say that my annotating has both gotten sparser. However, it's also gotten a little bit like in the beginning, I was definitely going like a little bit crazy. I was just like going in, you know, tabbing everything I possibly think I really could. However, what I did end up realizing is that what I was annotating was important to me within this book. Some days, you know, some pages look like this where there's only one annotation on one of the pages, and then some pages have no annotations at all, because a lot of those pages were either like backstory or like lots of commentary on the world, and those weren't things that I was looking for in this book. They were important, however, they weren't things that I actively was looking to like highlight within this read. It's kind of it was a little interesting to me how my annotations just changed. As you can see, this is just a place where there's no annotations, even though the end of this chapter, you know, kind of technically, but also I just didn't feel as though it was important enough. And then there are some places where I just wanted to highlight the entire paragraph, but I couldn't. So I just did like a little like bracket thingy, see? And I just hit wow. Because this really does highlight the difficulties of relationships. And and like over time, just developing an entire like system for my annotations, this really just happened. And also there's one place where I just decided I didn't want to like do like add a tab, probably because at this point I was running out of tabs. And I just put absolutely fucking precious on at the bottom of the paragraph because I thought it was cute. Like truly, I just through the annotations of this book, I did find myself really like relating to all of the characters, relating to like everything that's talking about within the world of women, because this is a historical fiction novel. This novel takes place in the era of foot binding in China, and like when this is still like a really prevalent practice, and why this and how this is it's in and of itself. Foot binding for a woman is constitutes like how high up or how low she will marry, you know, stuff like that. And in this book specifically, we follow Lily and Snowflower the secret fan. Lily, who is probably of a pretty lower class family, and she is Lily is from a lower class family, and she's just grown up in like a house that's like pretty standard, but like nothing like fancy or anything. She grew up pretty poor. She's like not she didn't grow up in any sort of high standing. Whereas Snowflower is from a family that once was really, really wealthy, once was like one of the best families in the county, but has fallen onto dire straits because of her father's bad decisions. And she's just kind of like dealing with that. Hold on. And she's just dealing with that. The thing that makes this book so interesting to me is that in this book, Snowflower and Lily are called old sames or laotong, which is essentially a kind of like lifetime relationship between two women, lifetime friendship relationship between two women, that is to last through their childhood, through marriage, and up to like however long they live. It's a lifetime relationship. And through this book, we really get to see the ins and outs, the difficulties of relationships, the commentary on the female world. One person in this book represents conformity, and the other one represents wishing to be free of that wishing to be free of the restrictions that follow women within this book. So it's like the reason this book kind of like called to me was because this has a lot of really good themes that would be really good for an annotation and really good for a first time annotation, I think. And now that I'm officially halfway through this book, I can confirm yes, especially since there are so many tabs, as you can see. And I've even run out of some tabs. Do you see? I've run out of 3 different tabs, and there are some that are like starting to like actually like get to the wire. Like I know this one that I have my finger over right here, that one I have like 2 or 3 tabs left. So I'm going to try and like use these guys more, the ones at the top anyways. And I have some other tabs that match the ones that I lost. So I'm going to use those to finish this book. But at this point in the book, there's a lot of commentary. There's commentary that kind of develops as the two main characters develop, i.e. commentaries on the female relationship, commentary on growing up, commentary on the female world, commentary on the relationships between men and women, difficulties of relationships. Like all of that is in here, and it was honestly really good for me to see which ones I found really important to me and which ones I didn't find very important to me, considering all of this. I just, like, everything in this book feels important, but there are certain phrases in here that really just like hit me differently. Okay, so this is commentary on the no, this is just a really insightful quote that I marked. So let's see. This can be explained by yin and yang. There are women and men, dark and light, sorrow and happiness. These things create balance. You take a moment of supreme happiness like Snowflower and I felt in the beginning of the Catching Cool Breezes festival, and then sweep it away in the cruelest way with Beautiful Moon's death. You take 2 happy people like aunt and uncle and turn them in an instant into 2 end of the liners with nothing to live for, who, when my father died, would have to rely on elder brother's kindness to care for them and not throw them out. You take a family like mine that is not so well off and add the pressure of too many weddings in one household. All these things disrupted the balance of the universe, so the gods set things right by striking down a kind-hearted girl. There is no life without death. This is the true meaning of yin and yang. This phrase doesn't really have much in context of this book and like what this book is technically about, but I found it really insightful because, like, yeah, I am a bit of a spiritualist in and of itself. I'm Buddhist, to be specific, and this kind of really just like hit home for me, just like how the universe has to set balances, has to set, boundaries for how things work. There's not really, that's just one of the things that I tabbed. There's a lot in here that goes on, and there is so much in here that really you could say is important to you, but wouldn't be really important to me. Even though everything within a book technically is important, I just find that annotating the things that really stuck with me, that stuck out to me, just like really helps when you're starting an annotation journey. I personally, so in doing this entire annotation thing, having all these annotations, I have an entire annotation key where I write down like what each tab means and the color it corresponds to. And personally, that was really helpful to me because I kept going back. I couldn't remember which colors I had associated with them. Though something that I would change about the experience is like trying to choose colors that are also very different from each other, because some of the colors of these tabs, some of the colors of these tabs looked very similar, and that really confused me, like when I started annotating more and more things other than the first thing I was annotating. It's kind of just like, it's just something to watch out for when annotating. But but something also that I found myself doing is I had 3 separate highlighters that I was annotating with, but none of them really had any meaning other than what color I chose. I didn't really assign any meaning to that, nor did I assign any meaning to when I was annotating with my pen, just underlining things. It was kind of more of just like what I felt like annotating with in that moment. And like I didn't use the pen for smaller or larger paragraphs. I kind of just alternated between what just felt right and what didn't. And yeah, that was also something that I really I wouldn't really change, mainly because having no real rhyme or reason to which annotation tool I was using really just like it didn't exactly help, I wouldn't say. However, it did just it did make this feel more spontaneous and everything. Um However, something that I would change with this annotation, with my annotation style for a future book that I want to annotate, would probably be, well, obviously this book is categorized within, is like historical fiction, and I would even say that it would also be categorized within literary fiction, because it tackles some really interesting topics about like the female world and like misogyny and male female relationships, you know, stuff like that. I would categorize this as literary fiction. However, however, I know that this annotation style isn't going to work really for like fantasy books, which is what I mainly read. This was an oddball, as in it was a COVID read. I picked up the book at school at some point because it was in a free bin at school, and I just picked it up because I didn't know what else. And also, I think I picked it up because the cover was really pretty to me. But yeah, something that I think would happen, I think the next book I'm going to annotate will probably be either like a contemporary fiction or a fantasy, because something that's really interesting to me is that I'm highlighting a lot of dialogue. Not exactly, well, not all of it is dialogue. However, they are a lot of inner thoughts. Because this story is told from Lily's perspective. This is this book, I'm highlighting a lot of her inner thoughts on like certain things, and it's interesting because now I'm mostly noticing how her thoughts are changing as she gets older, and like how she just kind of sees the world versus how Snowflower sees the world. And we're seeing all of that from Lily's perspective, which I think is really interesting because it's called Snowflower in the Secret Fan. However, we don't get a Snowflower perspective at all within this book. And I know that because I've read this before. Again, I'm annotating a reread. It's just, this book is just also just very interesting to me in the sense that it's just like, it has so much. For being a historical fiction book, this hits so much. Even though this isn't set in the era that I'm in right now, I understand a lot of the feelings that the women in this book feel. I understand a lot of why they feel this way, how they feel this way, and why they just decide to go along with it, because it's just safer for that. There's actively, there is like a quote in this book. I can't really remember the exact wording, but like, that was something we learned that day, is to, as women, we obey for our own good. That's just how this is. And honestly, like, yeah, that's just how it is. Let me just say, this is a really good book. I am going to continue to annotate it. However, I'm going to stop the video here with the annotations and just gonna go along with it, because I feel like documenting my annotations just isn't really that great. I wanted to vlog this first experience for me though, and I will make a video in like another year or so, try to see comparisons of like how this changed, of like how my annotation style has changed over that time, you know? But also, I'm going to be spending a lot of time with this text, and I'm not going to have this video be like 6 hours long. So this is a great book. This was a great first annotation experience for me, and I'm going to continue with that. And I do actually actively like the feeling of annotating a book. Like, I didn't think I'd like it so much, but like, just like, it's satisfying to me. Just like all the straight lines and everything. We aren't going to talk about the places I messed up. But like, seriously, look at all those straight lines. It's so nice. It's so good. I love it so much. But anyways, let's also talk about the other book that I was reading for this, which was If We Were Villains by Emma Rio. My dogs are losing their minds. So here's the thing about this book. I started off, you guys know, I started off with Mortal Remains by Mary Ann Fraser, and I just felt like I wasn't in the mood for that book, so I picked up If We Were Villains. And honestly, like, if you saw the clip, I loved it. I'm literally on page 83. I haven't gotten too far within the book. However, I am very much, very, very, very much enjoying this book. This book is literally 358 pages, I think. And it's honestly a really good breakup from that book because it's contemporary. It's set in a contemporary setting. And also, you get it from the perspective of someone who is very aware of himself within his friend group. However, he's also like, he's not exactly the outcast of the friend group. However, he is kind of the odd man out in that he's like the least talented of all of them, and he doesn't exactly have a specific role. But he's very aware of that, but no one ever really brings it to the light because it's not really that important exactly. Like, he's just kind of like, he isn't treated as an outsider. He's more of just like the wild card. No one really knows what to make of him, so they just put him wherever he fits best exactly, which is usually in supporting roles. But like everybody else, but like specifically the people who have been typecasted their entire lives, like throughout their entire theater experience, they are changing very, very rapidly and very aggressively, actually. It's actually really freaking interesting to watch it because you can see that shift just happening. And in this first one, a really big shift happened. Like, literally, someone almost got murdered at the end of the first ads. Like, seriously, it's honestly riveting, and I really am enjoying this book. And I'm going to continue reading this into another vlog that I'm going to film. However, really good book. I guess that brings this video to an end. I really enjoyed this, actually. And if you guys want to see more, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video. I'm posting weekly now, so be sure you don't miss a single one. And also, if you want to see more, leave me comments down below. I get really encouraged when I see your comments, and I get really, really happy when I see comments about like concepts in my videos and things like that. So like, leave me comments down below. I'll respond if I have anything to really say about it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, my little Lumas. Bye.